Hi guys, welcome back. So, you might have noticed someone sitting next to me.
Yep.
Alex is back for one video only. He's a busy man, but he's come in, he's done us a favour. We're going to talk about our best English teams for this World Cup. Can they have a team that will win the World Cup? Is it going to be good enough? Now, I've recorded my one already, so this video is going to drop into me telling you my team and my reasons for it. Then we'll cut back to us, and Alex is going to tell me how I'm wrong, and I'm going to correct him.
Although I can't see it being too dissimilar, to be honest.
Well, we'll
can't
see.
see it being too dissimilar.
We'll see. Okay, guys. We'll cut into me, then we'll cut back in a minute. So we'll start off with the front row. So I'll pop the front row up. Now, slight surprise in there, I haven't picked Mako Vunipola because he hasn't proved his fitness yet. It's a really nasty injury he's coming back with. Like I've said, that hamstring's come off the bone. It's heavy surgery, and he takes game time to get fit. So at the moment, I can't put him in, but I still like this setup where Marler starts on the loose head, the stronger scrummager, and then maybe Mako comes off the bench for 20-30 minutes to add extra speed, handling as the game opens out. So actually, even if he was fit, I quite like this setup. So Marler, George and Sinclair. Sinclair's playing great, George is playing great. It's a strong scrummaging unit, like I said, to start with. Good set piece, but as Sinclair adds that extra ball carrying and handling as well. And then Vunipola's come off the bench, Cow and Dickey off the bench as well. Cole's going to have to back up the tight head because he's the only tight head. So there we go, that's the front row. Second row, pop up the second row. Itoje and Cruz, I think, are the way to go. They're the class second rows. Cruz makes up for maybe not quite the athletic ability of a Courtney Lawes with his brain, with his ability in the line out. And he's improved, and Cruz, I think, has earned that right. Itoje and Cruz play so well together. Saracens teammates, it makes sense. They're my second row. Now, in the back row, of course, there was a lot of hype about Underhill and Curry playing together, and of course, they play together very well indeed. However, I think Wilson's a more sensible option. He gives a much better third line-out option, which I'm absolutely convinced you're going to need against the better teams, against really good line-outs. Plus, Wilson's a bit bigger, he's hard, he can do a lot of the jobs of Underhill. Yes, he's maybe not quite as quick, quite as an aggressive, low tackler as Underhill, but he does other things. Plus, he can cover other positions a bit better, slot into the back row, into number 8 if needed. Curry at 7, he's been absolutely outstanding, just getting better and better every game. He's new in it. He's new when he plays at 6. He hasn't quite learned that role fully. And the line out, yes, he could be a fourth line out option, but I really wouldn't want him as the third main line out option. And then Billy, playing great. Hopefully he doesn't get injured because he gets better as he plays. So that's the pack. I think it's a very good pack. Like I said, we've got Vunipola, Cowan, Dickey and Cole to come in the front row. Lawes I would bring off the bench into the second row, and Underhill I would take as well to replace any flankers and add some speed to that. Right, into the backs. Young has been playing awfully, absolutely. And he's been okay all season, but he is our most experienced 9. He probably is our best 9. We haven't taken that many. Willi Heinz is very early in his development. To start him, I think, would be a bit foolhardy. So I think Young starts. Farrell has to play 10 for me. He's been playing 10 for England for a long time. He's the class act. We know Ford and Farrell works as a change-up when the game's going well. We don't know how the game's going to go, so I think you start with Farrell at 10. In the centres, clearly, Tuolangi has to play somewhere. He had some unbelievable power to that midfield. I put him alongside Slade still. I think that adds the extra skill, ball handling, playmaking and kicking option that we really need. And of course, on first phase, we can swap around Slade and Tuolangi to change up the attacking options. Tuolangi's cover at 13 was decent the other day, but I still think Slade's a quicker covering 13. Joseph would have been a good shout, and he's unlucky to miss out. I'd be happy to include him, but you do lose a bit of passing and kicking. Into the back 3, this is really, really, really hard. So I'll whack up the whole team now. So I've gone for Watson at 11, Thokanasiga and Daly. May is missing out. I'm gutted with that. He's made the bench because Farrell can cover the centres. But I think Watson you're going to need for his high ball experience. I've mentioned before, if Watson had been fit and played a lot of fullback for England, he probably would be England's fullback. But I don't think we can change at this late stage. Daly does a lot of stuff well. We know he's a bit vulnerable height-wise. One-on-one, he's not the best, but he does attack unbelievably well and kicks unbelievably well. But Watson's got to be on the field. So then it was a straight shootout with Fokanasiga and May. And I think to win a World Cup, Fokanasiga's power really brings a USP to that England team with him, Tuolangi, Billy Villapola, Sinclair, Itoje. That really adds an identity. And then May to come off the bench. Okay, there we go. That's what I think, guys. Now, Alex, where am I wrong?
Well, it's an interesting team. I mean, there's a lot of...
Interesting good?
Interesting is in a good way. I think there's a lot... From the last couple of games that England have played, players have really put their hand up. So, for me... At the moment, with Mako not being fit, I think Marla does start. I agree with you.
He does start? Okay.
If Mako is fit, he starts.
How do you define fit? I was saying he needs to be match fit and conditioned, like right at the top of his game.
I absolutely agree with you.
So just fit-ish to do.
If he's fit,
half?
if he's fit-ish, he's on the bench, and he comes on and makes an impact for the last 20 because he's too good a player to not have around that squad.
Yeah.
Which again is tough on someone like Ellis Genge.
Yeah.
To miss out on that match day squads.
But it makes more sense, I think, to have Marla starting and Mako finishing if Mako's not 100%.
Yeah, you want that scrum rock solid from the start, and that's what Joe brings you, isn't it?
If Mako's 100%, you want to play him for as long as possible. Almost.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah? Okay, cool.
I've gone back to kind of England at the very start of Jones's kind of tenure. So I've gone back to a George and Dan Cole.
Ooh,
partly because I think England have, the last year or so, their impact players have been brilliant to start, but they haven't had the same security at scrum time, which is why somebody like a Dan Cole coming back in has secured that area of the game up.
Yeah.
He's good at line-outs, he's good around the field, and it allows then...
He's good around the field.
I think he is.
I think he's not good around. I think he's been... he can raise his game a bit, but for Leicester this year, I think he's been dire at times around the field.
But he's experienced, and at a World Cup, I think that'll kind of yield benefits. And Sinclair, for me, gives you more coming off the bench.
He does.
The last 20 minutes, half an hour, when the game is exposed and open, you want someone like him coming on. I would argue with Marla and Cole, it just slows down the pack a little bit. Sinclair's improved his scrummaging a lot. Yeah. And as we saw against Ireland, England want to interplay in their forwards, and Sinclair is a brilliant passer and handler of the ball. Yeah. But I take your point, so comment below who's right. Yeah, exactly. I think there's, for these teams, I don't think there's any right or wrong. I think because different people have put their hands up in different situations, haven't they?
Okay, second row.
I've gone Itoje, and then for me, George Cruz was good the last few games. Yeah. But he hasn't really put his hand up beyond somebody like Courtney Laws. I think Courtney Laws still offers you something, a bit more X factor than George Cruz does. A bit in the way Cruz has turned into a little bit like Launchbury was a couple of years ago. Very steady, dependable, line out good. But Laws just gives you that little bit more.
Laws is the more talented athlete, for sure. Absolute for sure. It's just every time this year Cruz has played, the line out's been so much better. Yeah. That's the only reason. And I think it's that important. I don't think England are going to have loads of great line-out options beyond their second rows.
No.
For that reason, I'd start Cruz, although I'd admit Laws is the better player.
Yeah. I mean, again, and it comes back, doesn't it? You could have either or. I mean, it might even come down to game dependency. So whoever we're playing, situation dependent, they might start one over the other and bring the other one on as and when. But it's nice to have so many options in that second row.
And would you play Itoje or Laws at 6?
Laws would be my preferred option at 6. If they're going to move any of them, Laws would be my preferred option.
The funny thing, I think Itoje is actually a better 6 than Laws, but also I think he's a better second row than Laws. So.
Yeah.
Anyway,
exactly.
So who is your 6?
I've gone Curry, which is tough on Wilson.
Yeah.
Because he was outstanding. He was probably up there with England's most outstanding player in that Six Nations.
Absolutely.
But I liked Curry Underhill, and I've gone Curry Underhill as my 6-7 because I liked that dynamic on the pitch. It was a bit like reminiscent of Australia with Pocock.
I mean, again, maybe I'm being boring, but round the pitch I agree with you. But that means Curry's going to have to be your third line-out option, and he's just so new to line-out jumping. It's a risk.
Yeah, it is.
It could be a risk worth taking. But
yeah, I think what they offer you around the park maybe just outweighs it. I mean, I had Curry Wilson at 6, so you could almost again interchange the two. And then Underhill Curry interchange at 7.
You've gone Curry Wilson.
I've gone Curry Underhill for me.
Sorry, Curry Underhill. Yes.
Just because I like it's exciting.
Okay, and the back line.
Billy at 8, obviously.
Oh, sorry, yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Now, nailed on Ben Youngs before the game against Ireland, and against Ireland, I thought he was appalling.
He was appalling.
He was appalling, and I can't believe that Eddie Jones left him on for as long as he did in that game.
Well,
I would have got Hines on.
There was a good comment actually on the video saying actually Youngs directed the traffic around him very well. It was his skills that were appalling.
Yeah.
So
which has been actually something that the skills have always been his get out of jail.
That's his thing, isn't it?
That's his thing, the skills. And when the skills aren't working, you've got to start thinking, that might be an issue.
Okay.
So I've gone with Youngs because I think Eddie will go with Youngs, but Willie Hines is a decent second option to be honest.
I keep saying on this channel, where's Ben Spencer, the best scrum half in the Premiership?
Yeah, no, I agree. Right. Farrell 10.
Yep.
And then I've gone different back 3 to you.
Okay.
I've gone Daly on the wing.
Yeah.
And then I've gone Johnny May and I've gone Anthony Watson at fullback.
Okay.
Only because Elliot Daly in his own right is an outstanding rugby player.
Yeah,
absolutely, no question.
He's an outstanding rugby player.
He's not good enough under the high ball for me to warrant starting at fullback in the World Cup.
You're right.
That's my. He plays because he's good enough.
There's now one game. Maybe Watson starts at 15 against Italy.
Yeah,
that's one game. And is that enough?
For me, he's shown in the games he's played, the last 3 games that he's played, that he's up there. Test match intensity. And he's good enough under the high ball.
It's a big shout, but I'd be happy if it happened. I'm just again a bit worried it's a bit late.
Those two need to play.
But Thokinasiga.
See, and that's
seriously not starting Thokinasiga.
That's your dilemma. That's my dilemma. I think he's good enough to start.
Yep.
But has Johnny May done enough? For me, I think
over the course of a year or two, yes.
I think yes, and it's tough on Thokinasiga because he has done enough, I think, to warrant starting.
I mean, Thokinasiga has more weaknesses than Johnny May.
Yeah.
I think his tackling, for a big guy, his tackling technique actually isn't the best.
No.
And again, you know, under the high ball, even though he's tall, I'm not sure he's the best either.
Yeah.
But to win a World Cup, I just think...
Yeah, he's got the X factor, isn't he?
Yeah.
But I've gone with Jonathan Joseph at 13.
I thought you might. Because he plays for Bath, right?
No. Although he does play for Bath.
Just by the way.
I thought he was outstanding against Wales in that first game. I mean, unbelievably good. And if you've got someone like Mono at 12, Joseph gives you that little bit extra pace. Slade's no slouch.
Yeah.
But he gives you that little bit of X factor with his fast feet to just get on the outside. And I think that's an area where England, I think, need, if you're going to play Mono at 12, you need that little bit of extra.
I mean, you're right on the pace. It's just Slade, you're missing out on his passing and his kicking as well.
Yeah, but I'd be happy either way. If they went Joseph, happy. If they went Slade,
but
also
definitely
happy.
Not Ford Farrell to start.
I liked Ford Farrell as a combination, but I think it's been too long where they've not played that combination for Eddie to go back and play that again. Right, I liked it. It worked, I thought, against Ireland.
Cool. Okay, so we're quite similar in some ways, different in some ways. So yeah, that was quite a longer video than normal, but hey, you know, why not? It's our favourite topic.
It's very exciting, this World Cup.
You have to indulge us. You getting excited?
Yeah, I think there could be some surprises. I think top 4 are going to be pretty. From looking around, I think top 4 are going to be pretty settled.
Okay.
But we won't give that one away quite yet.
All right. Well, we might be able to get Alex back at some point. Maybe we'll persuade him to come back for maybe the top 10 most likely to win the World Cup.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
We'll see.
Yeah,
see how it goes. Cool. Until next time, guys, we will see you later. I've got one coming out you might want to see called The Hidden Pool of Death.
Oh, okay.
Because what do you think's the hardest pool is?
Ours is quite tough.
Right. That's the obvious one, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I actually think there's a different one.
Australia's?
No one's spotted. Well, I'll keep it a secret.